Saba Day protest. Let's now link up with Timothy Njoya. Timothy is a retired Presbyterian Church of East Africa minister. He's also a prominent voice in the second liberation struggle. He was a key figure during the 1990s, Saba Day protest. Good morning, Timothy. Good morning, Njoya. Can you hear me? All right, we lost him, but just to mention, we see a statement from the DCI this morning. They say that every Kenyan has a constitutional right to move freely, assemble lawfully, and express themselves peacefully. However, that right must never be used as a cover for looting, destruction, intimidation, violence, or attacks on innocent wananchi and businesses. DCI says to those intending to exploit the day for criminal acts, take note that DCI officers will be on the ground to maintain order and deal firmly with anyone who threatens public safety, destroys property, or disrupts peace. As you go about your day, you're told to remain alert. All right, that is a statement by the DCI, from the DCI rather, just a few minutes ago. Once again, let's link up with Timothy Njoya. Timothy, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Timothy?
Yes, please, madam.
Can you hear me, Timothy?
I can hear you.
All right, Reverend, thank you so much for making time for us this morning. We do appreciate you for your time. You are a prominent voice, when we're talking about Saba Day. How do you, interpret this day 36 years later? What comes to mind?
What comes to my mind is that we are not rebelling or voting against any government. What we are trying to do is to change to Kenya, to shift from the Lancaster Constitution, in which Kenya was a British foreign market, into a new constitution which we are sovereign. And it was also trying to change Kenya from being a market into being a nation. And also we did that because we gave ourselves the freedom, the sovereignty, because it was God-given. The one we were given by Britain was not ours, because its constitution was called Lancaster Constitution, and ours is now Kenya Constitution. Now, yes. Now I feel the Kenya is not going well because Ruto seems to have rebelled against the Kenya Constitution, and the agencies have initiated a counter-rebellion against Ruto. So we have the government, the state rebellion against the Kenya Constitution, and the agency counter-rebellion against Ruto and the state. Yes.
When you say rebellion against the Constitution, Reverend, what do you mean entirely?
I mean that entirely because Ruto seems to have co-opted the parliament, and you know that the Kenya Constitution says that the government or the state is the parliament, the judiciary, and the state and the executive. Now, if the executive co-opts one of the other organs of the state, it's no longer the state; it's a rebellion. That's a rebellion against the Constitution. Yes.
But when you look at Kenya today, do you feel the sacrifices made in 1990 during the Saba Day protests achieved what you hoped for back then?
No, the first Saba, we achieved the new constitution, and multi-party as people-driven constitution. People gained their own freedom as God-given. As already we are told in Genesis, God gave people freedom, the dominion, the sovereignty. Now we were given by Britain, by the old constitution, but now we give it ourselves to the new constitution. And the sovereignty we give ourselves was to be exercised for those we give power to exercise it. The judiciary, the parliament and the executive. If one of those organs steals power from the other or co-opts the other three, any one of the other three or two of them, then that is rebellion against our new constitution. There's a rebellion against the 2010 constitution. Yes.
And Reverend, the protests back then birthed some sort of change. And looking at, the protests, how it's being held right now, do you think Kenyans have the power to influence government as it stands?
No, which government are you talking about? The rebel one? The one which has rebelled against the government, has rebelled against the constitution. Yes, by usurping or co-opting the parliament. Yes.
How about the church in general? You're a reverend. Perhaps do you think that the church still has its voice when we're talking about such major issues and historic events like Saba Day?
No, it was not clear what role the church can play now. From what I'm saying today, the church role should be to reconcile, to restore democracy in Kenya, to restore the integrity of the constitution. By telling the Moi executive to obey the constitution and tell the agency not to have a counter rebellion. But anyway, there won't be counter rebellion if Ruto did not rebel. Yes, there won't be any agencies on the streets if there was no rebellion by the state. Yes.
But now, what will be your call to action now that you're talking about rebellion? What would you rather the government do to ensure that Kenyans are not in the streets crying about the same thing decades later?
My action is to ask the two forces, the two rebellions, to not to reconcile, to disarm themselves and let the constitution to work. Yes.
And looking at 2026 protest, Saba Day commemoration, what do you make of 2026 protests? Are they justified? Do they carry the same weight as it carried?
I'm saying they are not really protests; they are rebellions against the rebellion.
Yeah.
Rebellions that. They are counter rebellions against the rebellion. Yes.
So why do you think Kenyans are repeatedly having to fight for the same issues, accountability? We're talking about justice. We're talking about good governance. Decade later, where is the gap exactly?
None of them is fighting for justice, but they are fighting against each other. Yes.
So we were talking about earlier how back then veteran opposition leaders came to the front to fight for multi-party democracy, but right now we are not seeing these leaders now coming.
Let me correct you.
Right.
Let me call you.
Right.
The opposition in Kenyatta's time, Moi's time, and all this were fighting for. They were fighting. There was a power struggle. That was a power struggle. It was not a fight for justice, human rights, and human rights.
Yeah.
But it's us, civil society, National Convention Assembly, of which I was one of the leaders who were fighting for change into human rights. All the other time from Odiga to Shikuku, all those people, Laila, all those people were fighting. They even could participate in coup d'etats, which means they were fighting for power. We ourselves, I couldn't join anybody fighting for power. Yes.
So what you're saying is that from 1990 up until 2026, these leaders are not fighting for a better Kenya. It is just a power struggle. Is that what you say?
From 1990.
1990, when the Saba Day protests were held for the first time.
Of course, all political parties in the world fight for engaging in power struggle. We were not a political party. We were fighting for. We were a human rights movement, fighting for human rights.
So what can be done for us to have a better Kenya in 2026 as we move forward?
Can be done is we don't have, right now we don't have organized movement, conscious of fighting for, philosophically conscious of fighting for human rights and democracy at the where everybody is taken care of by everybody and takes care of everybody, fighting where for power where everybody takes care of himself and herself. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Reverend, for making time for us, and we wish you a happy Saba Day.
Okay, thank you very much. I wish you too.
Thank you.
I wish you a happy Saba Day.
All right. That is Reverend Timothy Njoya. Reverend Timothy Njoya is a prominent voice in the second liberation struggle. He's also a retired Presbyterian Church of East Africa minister. Is a theologian, and once again a prominent voice in the fight for multi-party democracy. He's also a human rights defender and an advocate for multi-party democracy. All right, we are keeping you updated with the commemoration for Saba Day celebrations 36 years later. And as we've already mentioned earlier, lobby groups have insisted that they will continue their procession as they had communicated earlier. It is expected to begin in the capital city from Givenchy Gardens all the way to Parliament, where they are expected to table their petitions. And the petition seeks parliamentary intervention on long-standing concerns, among other things, extrajudicial killings, enforced disappearances, and excessive use of force by security agencies, stronger police